Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Friday's edition of Take 5. It's time now to finish up this series of devotions. We've been talking about the subject perfect peace during the storms of life. I think we've learned some things. If we'll just apply it this week and we won't push back. If you're not careful, your flesh will push back because, we really don't want to have to endure things. But the Bible says we have to. As a matter of fact, someone shared with me this week something that Joyce Myers had said concerning John 16:33. Jesus said, "I've said these things to you that in me you might have peace. In the world you'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world." That is a promise of God, that we will have peace, but we will also have trouble and we will overcome. That is a promise of God. So that's what He promises. So it's time to stand on those promises and walk in this perfect peace that God has ascribed to us. I want to read Philippians 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's something that we read a whole lot here at our church. I want to read it again as we break this down today and finish up. It says, "Let your gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand." Some translations say moderation. Some translations say reasonableness. Either way, it's a Greek word that means gentle, moderate, and patient. Patient, that's the ability to endure. Gentle and moderate. It's like, hey, be even keel. Don't go overboard with this thing. Don't get too worked up with this thing. Be moderate with these things that we are doing because the Lord is at hand. Endure correctly in front of the world because the Lord is at hand. That word patient refers to how we endure these circumstances. And as believers, we're supposed to endure with faith and peace and with the right attitude. And this verse says that we're to display it in front of all men because we know that our ultimate deliverance, the return of the Lord, is very, very near. Verse 6 said, "Be anxious then for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God," there it is, "the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ." Now understand, notice what he said. He said nothing about the answer. He said everything about God's perfect peace. This perfect peace that we've been talking about now, it is the only thing that will fit your unique circumstance and fill the void in your life. Nothing else will work no matter how hard you try to force it. You cannot force something to be your deliverance or your answer when it is not the answer that God intends. You cannot force it. Sick people will want healing, but what if that's not the answer God intends? Now, don't throw me out. Now, listen, we know these things are a fact. We just don't want to admit it. People that are struggling financially, they want money or either they want a better job, but what if that's not the answer God intends? People that have been abused want to know why it happened or why was it allowed or when am I going to be vindicated? But again, what if that's not the answer God intends? And people whose character has been assassinated by others, they want the talking and the rumors and the gossip to all stop. But again, I say, what if that's not the answer God intends? What if God intends for us to just walk in that peace and walk through these things? Listen to me. In my flesh, I don't like the sound of it either, but in my spirit, I know this is the right thing to do. This is where the answer is. There's hope in this. There's comfort in this. There's strength in this. There's peace in this. If you try to force something to be your solution that is not the plan of God, you will cause yourself more emotional stress, frustration, anger, fear, because it's not what God intended for your life. When you try to make something happen that's not, even though it looks good, when it's not God's will, you just cause yourself more frustration. And if you're not careful, you'll end up being angry and mad with God because He didn't do it your way or He didn't do it the way you thought He should. So the best thing to do is learn to walk in that peace and let God work this thing out as He sees fit. If you don't, you will break under the pressure and you will crumble all to pieces and you will be ruined by your emotions and stay in that constant prison up and down all the time with your emotions if you don't let the perfect peace of God rule in your heart. That's what Paul told us in Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule. Let it govern. Let it arbitrate in your life. Let me read our text from Isaiah 26, 1 through 3. And this is where we started, and this is where we'll finish, okay? In that day, this song will be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. He sets up salvations as walls and bulwarks. Open the gates that the righteous nation that keeps faith may enter in. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts you. Again, that is the key in every situation of life. Whether we get the answer we want or the answer that we think we should or whatever the case, that is the key, to trust God totally every step of the way. I looked up what the word trust there. I know we've got a general definition of it, but I looked up what the word trust there means, and it means to be boldly sure and secure and to be confidently careless. Now, when I say careless, I don't mean like, I was careless with a knife and I cut my finger. Not that. Constantly and confidently careless. I'm without care. I'm without anxiety. I'm without fear. I'm without worry because I trust the Lord and I know His plan is perfect. Let me tell you how this thing all really lays out for us. We talked about the God of peace. Well, the God of peace sent Jesus, the Prince of Peace, to earth 2,000 years ago, and He wants to touch our troubled spirit and replace our fear with faith. We have been given heaven's perfect peace to keep us and preserve us until God's timing and will are perfected, whatever that is. We don't know, but whatever it is, we've been given that peace to keep us there. And the promise is that He will bring us an increase of this peace until His word is established in our lives. If you look in Isaiah, when he talks about this Prince of Peace, he says, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father. Oh, here it is. And the Prince of Peace. And the next verse says, of the increase of His government and of His peace, there will be no end. Of the increase of that peace that governs and rules in our life, there will be no end. It will constantly develop. It will constantly mature as we trust Him because it is perfect peace. Well, hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been so good being with you this week. I look forward to worshiping with you on Sunday. And then next week, we'll meet around the camera right here again for another series of Take 5 devotions. Till then, God bless you. Have a great weekend. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.